Hello, 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 hello. It's Joe with Joe Knows Cryptos here with a live chat. Again, I don't normally post when I'm going to go live. I just kind of do it. So here I am. And what a nice day again we're having in the cryptocurrency market. Litecoin up to 115. So very happy to see that. Hey, Charles, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, I don't do these live broadcasts announced. I should start doing that so we can get more people on here. But I just like to talk, and I have a lot of trouble with my phone recording and uploading. So this is just the easiest way for me to make videos for now on. Hey, Maddie, how are you, buddy? Is that how I say your name, Matt? Is it Maddie? Because I think I was calling you Matthew or something like that before. Is it Maddie? And we're looking good, sir. Happy Memorial Day. Yes, definitely happy Memorial Day. Um, Guys, I was not in the service, but I have nothing but the utmost admiration for people who did serve this country, who sacrificed and gave their lives and put their own well-being on the line for all of us. So we're not speaking German today, and we're not speaking British, and we're not still serving the Queen. And as far back as you want to go, Americans, servicemen who have lost limbs and lives and sacrificed time away from families. God bless you guys. Really appreciate it. Um, let's see here. Let me look at my notes because I see some familiar names on here, Carson. Is James still? Yes, James still has his Litecoin. Uh, so I was working at a furniture store with this guy named James who was getting, I was really talking about cryptos when it was starting to run up the end of 2017, and he gave me $300 to invest, and I put it in Litecoin, and then what happened? The market crashed. But hey, he's about to get his money back, and hopefully he's going to have a lot more. Hopefully Litecoin's going to keep going, and I've got a really good feeling that it will. So yes, he still has his Litecoin. All right. So I got a couple of minutes here to get this started. So let me go ahead and start talking about what I want to talk about today. So first thing I wanted to talk about, there's a couple of people that I just want to say hi to real quick, and these were trolls. These were people who, when I made two or three videos. One was the Litecoin halvening. One is the we're going higher and higher video, and then I did the latest one, after that, with the Van Halen song in there. And these trolls started coming out of the woodwork saying that Litecoin and Bitcoin are going to crash. They're going to go down to zero. They're worthless. They're not worth anything. Fiat is worth so much more, so much better, this, that, and the other thing. Well, guys, we'll see. But right now, looks like you kind of put your foot in your mouth, and you're kind of eating SHT right now. So let's see what happens. Come on, trolls, bring some more negativity about Litecoin and Bitcoin and cryptos, and we'll see how who's left standing in the end. Okay. All right. So that's the first thing I wanted to get off my chest. All right. Second thing I wanted to talk about is this latest pump that we had here was institutional. It was not retail, and it was not organic, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, because I've talked about this before in the past. When these institutions come in and they drive the market down, they sell off a whole bunch, trying to scare people out of the market so they can, then in turn buy up those scared people's Litecoin and Bitcoin at cheaper prices, and then buy back their own and bring the price back up. Well, this time, if you look at the chart for Bitcoin, it goes straight up, which means these were whales. These were people with a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars, coming in and buying up Bitcoin all at once. And then that drove the rest of the market behind it. Now when they drive it down, I say, don't be fooled by it, because I know that they were going to buy right back in after a few days. They're trying to feel out the market and see if people were going to get scared and have that cascading down effect, which never happened. So they got scared, and they didn't want to lose the ones that they sold. So they hurry up and went back in and bought those back up, and drove the price back up to where it was, leveled off again for a few days, 3, 4, 5 days, and then boom, they bought in. And I've talked about this probably a couple of months ago. The retail investors, which I would consider like you and I, just normal, regular, everyday people, but not the ones, I shouldn't say like you and I, because we're in the know. We know about cryptocurrencies now. I'm talking about the people who know nothing about cryptocurrencies. The people that I've interviewed live on the street that I say, do you know what Bitcoin is? And they have no idea, or they've heard of it, but have no intention of investing in it. These people are the ones that are going to get caught by surprise. And I hate to say caught with their pants down, but they really are, because by the time they start getting into Bitcoin, Litecoin, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin's going to be over $50,000. So, I mean, how many people have $50,000 laying around that they're willing to throw all into Bitcoin, which is still considered very speculative? Not many. People that were buying Bitcoin at $3,000-$4,000, they really had nothing to lose. And that's what I was definitely recommending. I recommended buying all the way down and all the way up, just kind of, buying at different levels, so it all kind of averages out. But we all know where Bitcoin and Litecoin are going. We know that Bitcoin's going over 100,000. We know Litecoin's going over 1,000 in the near term future. I'm not talking 10 years out. I'm talking in the next, year or so. Maybe less, maybe a few months more, but we all know where it's going. So I hate to say that I'm sorry that I feel bad, but I try to warn people. I try to tell people about it. They roll their eyes, they shake their head, they try to entertain me for a minute and say, "Oh, really?" And then never care to find anything else out about it. So I can't say that I haven't tried, and I'd love to see the little guys get ahead for once in this world. And but I mean, obviously, they just don't understand that Bitcoin, Litecoin, coins that are mined eat inflation. They eat fiat currency. As fiat devalues, Bitcoin comes and eats it and gets bigger, and it inflates the price. So what I was saying is there was this big drive up that was institutional, but who in their right mind is honestly going to sell their Bitcoin and their Litecoin right now? There's going to be traders out. Traders, they're literally traders, but no, they're people who trade for swings up and down that will say, hey, I'm happy I made my 20% on Litecoin, or my 10%, or whatever mark they want to hit, and they'll sell hoping it'll go down so they can get in at lower levels. But is it really worth risking selling at 115 so it goes down to 110, and you make $5, you save that $5 and you're able to buy back in. That's if you time it perfectly at the 115. If it goes down to 110, you get back in, and then it goes back up. That's if you can time it perfectly, which hardly ever, 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 ever happens, compared to just holding it. Because even if it goes down to 110, we know it's going to go up to 120, 130, 40, 50, up to $1,000. I mean, are you willing to risk losing out just to try to gain maybe that one or two extra Litecoin? I mean, come on, guys, be real. I really don't know who in their right mind would be selling right now. To me, it almost comes into the fact, you might say that I'm greedy for not selling, but I think you're greedy if you do sell. It's almost like, I've made this analogy before, I just saw that movie Aladdin, where he's in that cave of wonders and he's got all these jewels around him, and he just has to get the lamp, because the lamp is the prize thing. That's the one that's going to make the genie appear. And that's the one that the head guy wants him to get. But there's so many people that are out there tempted to grab all these other jewels. And, it's like, I can make it to the entrance. I see there's the exit right there. I can see the opening, and the whole cave is crumbling around me. But let me just stop and grab this extra handful of rubies and diamonds, and then they get crushed by the cave. You're being kind of greedy, I think, if you're trying to skim a couple of dollars off the top, because you're just going to end up shooting yourself in the foot, in my opinion. This is not financial advice, guys. This is just my opinion. But do what you want, play the game how you want. But that's how I see it. I mean, like I've said before, you've got a guaranteed lottery ticket winner in your hand, and you're gonna let somebody borrow it for a few days, hoping that you can. They'll pay you a few dollars while they borrow it. But if it happens to cash out while they're holding it, they get to keep it. You know, that's kind of what the analogy I kind of put with it. So this institutional pump drove it up. And what I kind of predict happening here is, I mean, of course, you're going to have your traders that are going to have it maybe settle down, go sideways for a little while. But I just think we're going to keep seeing these institutional pumps, these level offs, institutional pumps, until it gets to a certain point where maybe they'll try to do a sell off and try to shake out some weak hands again. But they've tried this multiple times and it hasn't worked. And I think they're afraid of losing out on their own Bitcoin and Litecoin if they try this too many times. They don't like to play with fire either because they know they've got winning lottery tickets in their hand. So these pumps, I think, are just going to keep raising the market. And I've also heard a lot of channels talk about, you know, we're going to have this one nice run up to 100,000, and then we're going to see it drop down to like 40,000 or so. I don't see that happening either. Once it gets to 100,000, Bitcoin is going to become a very coveted possession that is going to be very difficult to get. And when people see it drop in price more than 10, 20%, they're going to see that as prime buying opportunities. Even retail people, even people who know nothing about cryptos, will know that 20% down is a good time to get in. I just don't see it cascading down. I think once it gets to 100,000, they may see a little bit of pullback, maybe 10, 15, maybe 20%. But I just think you're going to see people buying it as soon as it becomes available, because it's going to become very scarce, especially once the halvening comes out. You know, there may come a time after that Bitcoin halvening where it's difficult to get a Bitcoin, where the exchanges won't have it on hand to give to you, where it's not going to be used as the default currency. So like now you go on Binance and you can, you go into Bitcoin to buy another currency. Well, there's going to come a time where they're not going to be able to do that because they're not going to have the Bitcoin for you to, when you sell your whatever, say your your Ethereum, and it goes into Bitcoin automatically, and then you can buy something else with the Bitcoin. They're not going to have the Bitcoin for it when you sell your Ethereum for it to go into Bitcoin. They're going to eventually start removing Bitcoin as one of their kind of payment currencies because they're just not going to have it. It's going to be too valuable. That's what I predict happening. And I think that's why you're going to see a lot of exchanges start to accept other cryptos as trading partners. You know, Litecoin may happen for a while, but eventually Litecoin, the exact same thing is going to happen. It's going to take a little bit longer because there are 4 Litecoin to every 1 Bitcoin. So, of course, since Bitcoin is more in demand, it's going to go up faster first, but we got the Litecoin happening first. So, I mean, guys, it's like the perfect storm going on for both of these. Let me see here. I've had some questions. When is the altcoin rally going to start? I think the altcoin rally is going to start when the retail investors start getting in. I think the retail investors are going to start, when TD, Ameritrade, and Fidelity and all these start selling Bitcoin, right? They're going to start selling their Bitcoin, their Litecoin, their Ethereum, which is going to drive their prices super high. So the people who already hold Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum are probably not going to be buying it because they already hold it, and they're just going to ride that wave and just let the retail market take it up and just be happy sitting with what they have instead of buying it at higher and higher prices. What they're going to start doing with their money that they have to invest, I don't think they'll sell their Bitcoin and Litecoin, but I think that they'll, with their new income that they have to invest, because they always have streams of income coming in, they need something to do with their money, they're going to start throwing it into altcoins because altcoins have the potential to 100x in a day or two, 2-3 days. And they'll be willing to roll the dice because, when you're up so much, the pressure's off. You don't have to worry about losing. Now you can roll the dice a little bit with some of these altcoins. And I think the ones with low coin supply are going to be ones that are really going to benefit first, simply because it doesn't take much to move their price. And my crusher of the month that I'm going to give, I'm actually going to make a video on it, even though I did cover it last video, was EVX, very low coin count hardly anything. They've got a big announcement coming out next month, and it's dropped down quite a bit. I think it's down to about 71 cents. I could see that doubling if we do have an altcoin run very easily. Let's see here. Also, I made these, these Litecoin videos. I made 3 of them, and man, I've been hitting them on the nose. I say it's going to go higher. 2-3 days later, bam, up 10, 15% each and every time I made one of these videos. And I don't think I have enough influence to be driving the price up, but I think I may be getting word out to enough people where maybe whales realize that the small guys like me realize what's going on, and they may actually start to panic and realize that, if they really want to be dominant forces in the world and in the future, that they need to get as much as they can. They don't want to buy so much where they scare the retail and start a frenzy where everybody just starts getting in and fighting each other to buy crypto, Litecoin and Bitcoin. They want to go in and buy a burst, give it a little jolt, and then quiet it down, just level off. Then go in and buy a burst, and then This is what I said in other videos. It's going to go up, and it's going to level off. It's going to go up and level off. And this is a way they can sneakily and quietly, without causing too much of a ruckus, buy into the cryptos without the retail market getting too excited, and yet still accumulate mass quantities of cryptos. And also, when I made those videos, about Litecoin, there's even things that I left out of there. They were about 5 minutes of just positive things about Litecoin. I didn't even mention atomic swaps, the Lightning Network. I mean, there's just so many other things I didn't even talk about. So let me go ahead and I'm not going to make this video too long today. I'm already at 17 minutes here. Let me go through some of the comments and see if there's anything hold on here. Let me do my arrow up because, again, yeah, guys, please like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you're getting anything beneficial out of this. I don't get paid to make these videos, but once I get to 1,000 subscribers, at least YouTube will throw me a little bit of money. And I'm not by any means a rich person. There's people on this comment board that I know that can attest to that. They know I'm not a rich person. I just I like to read. I like to investigate. I like to find out information, and that's just what I love to do. So let me go through some of these comments real quick here. All right, pronounce Matthew. Thanks, Matthew. I appreciate that. Got some kind of bug on my leg here. All right. Good call on Litecoin. Thank you, Stuart. Yes, I appreciate that. It's always nice to get justification when you do the right thing. Call something good. Like I said, I never used to celebrate whenever I won. I used to be really into sports, and I'd have a basketball game where I'd score like 34 points and we'd win the game, and I just kind of, be very humble. And there's nothing wrong with being humble, but this bug is bugging the hell out of me. So, but I've also learned in life that it's also nice to celebrate success because it just gives you a good feeling. Just gives you a good feeling. I don't think you should gloat on it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with celebrating a little bit. And guys, today is another good day to celebrate. That's all I'm going to say. All right, and I'm going to have to kill this bug because it's maddening. All right. Bitcoin and Litecoin, and wonder how high this run will go. How high this run will go, it's hard to say, guys. If one of these firms actually goes live, we could see this get out of control real fast. I mean, with prices going way up real fast. Like I said, this was not a natural boost that we got. This was an institutional whale or whales who put their money together and drove the price up. So once that cools off, it may just level off again for a while. It's hard to say. But like I said, this is a powder keg. I mean, anything can make this thing blow at any time. If you have some pension funds say they're going to start buying into Bitcoin to fund their pension funds, or some country saying they're going to start holding the currency in their reserve. There's so many things that can happen to set this market off and just have it go absolutely crazy. That this bug is driving me crazy. Here, can you see this little thing on my leg? This little bug flying around my leg. I can't get it. I got it. All right. Yeah. I think I got it on video. I don't know if my camera was pointing at it. I hope I didn't have my finger over the camera. All right. Sorry about that, guys. That's life. This is real life video. This is not edited and all that jazz. All right. Yeah, so that will determine how high this will go. We don't know. That's why I'm not selling, even when it goes up like this. I mean, what if it makes a move 3 points down and I'm like, yeah, let me sell. It's going to go down to 107, and then tonight an institution comes out and says, yeah, we're going to start buying up Bitcoin and Litecoin. And the thing just goes up 100 points, overnight. I'm not going to risk that. I've been through too much crap with the down market to sell it, to gain a few whatever they're called, shekels, to miss out on missing the whole boat. Let's see. Wonder how EOS goes fast. EOS does go fast. I don't talk about EOS too much, only because it's very centralized. I don't like centralized cryptocurrencies. EOS, Ripple. I also don't like cryptocurrencies that get overly hyped, like Tron. Plus, I don't like a lot of the people that run these companies, like Roger Ver with BTC, and I don't have a problem with Justin Sun, but he just hypes everything. It's like they buy Microsoft Windows and put it on their computer, and he says now we're partnering with Microsoft. I mean, he flat out lies. He over sensationalizes pretty much everything he says. So he's like the boy who cried wolf. You don't know what's actually legit and what's BS after a while. And from what I understand, that the Tron, oh cool, hummingbird just flew by me. That Tron's, their platform is like kind of copied from others, and it's not even that great of I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys feel differently, but these are just things I've heard about Tron, and I just kind of stopped following it and looking into it because it's not anything I'm interested in once I hear these things. EOS, the owners kind of jump around from crypto to crypto, just creating cryptos, getting their first bunch of income from it, and then jump and ship and starting another one. That's kind of scammy to me. Anything like that, I don't really like. They could be perfectly fine. They could all maybe, double, triple, quadruple in price. I don't, but I just kind of lose interest. There's so many cryptos out there to talk about and research. The ones that I know that I'm not going to personally invest in, I just don't bother looking into them anymore. So, EOS is probably, I've heard good things about their technology, but just not anything I'm interested in. Still sustainable. Yeah, Matthew, still tons of growth. I mean, Litecoin isn't even halfway to where it was when it hit its high, and end of 2017. We still have a long way to go. If it's going to get to $1,000 by the end of the year, I mean, we've got to see gains like we've had this week and last week consistently, like every other week. We've got to see big moves like this. I mean, it's got to go up almost $10 a week, even more, to have a chance for it to get to $1,000, because we have such a long way to go. I mean, people say $1,000 like it's a drop in the bucket, piece of cake, but we're really going to need an institution or some real feeding frenzy to get it up to $1,000. I think it could happen, but my prediction was 600 to 1,000. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's 2,000. I hope it's 5,000. But realistically, if it does make a move, it'd have to almost double in price every couple of months, every month practically, for it to get up to levels like that, even more, which there's just going to be pullbacks when that happens. It's just not organic growth enough, unless I said it's really just a feeding frenzy that goes crazy. So realistically, 5,000 this year, I don't see it. And I love Litecoin and I love to push it and I love to moon on it, but I gotta be real too, let's see here. I've been on Litecoin for years, love seeing it get on a roll. Yes, Litecoin is going to 0 with 1 in front of it. Yeah. 4 zeros. Yeah, 1,000. I think so. Let's see. Crypto is on a tear. Yes, it is. Crypto is on a tear. Perosi, nice to see you on here, my friend. Is this growth organic and sustainable? I think it is. I don't think it's organic, but I think it will level off and keep going up, like I just said. It feels weird. Yeah, it does feel weird to actually have profit, doesn't it? To actually see green instead of red every day. The moon. Yeah, I mean, let's gobble up that fiat. That's right. Keep printing that fiat. Hello, all. We have one wish. 2 trillion Litecoin market cap. That'd be all right with me. It'd be fine with me. I think this bull run, we won't see the big, I don't think we're going to see those big corrections either. I think by the time it gets up to Bitcoin gets to 100,000, everybody and their mother is going to know what Bitcoin is. They're going to not only have heard of it, they're going to have looked into it and talked to somebody else about it. That's why I don't think it's going to see that big correction like it's seen in the past. Plus, with all the institutions and everything that are going to, keep coming in, those are investors that are savvy, that have played the stock market, and they know when things are a good deal and a good buy, and they know when things make a 20% correction that's a great time to get in. They know that they'll understand that it's a limited quantity. Supply and demand is going to drive the price. I just don't see that big drop off that a lot of other of these channels are saying is going to come. In steps. Yeah, the dips are not big. That's right, Randall. Also, I think the next bull run gonna massively drop down. Way too many big players with different entry times. That's true as well. When you got these whales in here, unless all the whales get together and say, let's pull all our money out of crypto, or some kind of major government intervention, or some type of a worldwide crisis, epidemic, war, something that could change the whole landscape of cryptos. I just don't see it going down. If the world keeps going how it is, it's to the moon, baby. What's going to happen? Let's see, Randall. What's going to happen is I think people will sell hoping for a dip that doesn't come. Then they'll have to buy in higher. That's going to happen as well. Yeah, greed is definitely a thing. Are you afraid? Craig writes, going to sell 100 Bitcoins. Yeah, I mean, there could be people. Well, the two things you have to worry about with Bitcoin are people like Craig Wright, who hold a lot of it still, that could try to promote, his BitCash and sell off a bunch of Bitcoin. But I don't stupid. I guess he's got so much money, though, it doesn't really matter. He's got so much money in Bitcoin Cash that he's, making money on as well. But and he really wants Bitcoin Cash to be the number one coin. And he's not a quitter. But that, or there is still about 100,000 Bitcoin from Mt. Gox still hanging around out there that is going to be tied up in the courts for the next 2 years. So I think we've got at least 2 years before we have anything major to worry about, barring something that I just talked about, some kind of unusual circumstance that happens. Not really afraid of it. He realizes that Bitcoin, the real Bitcoin, is legit. He made a bet with who was it, Tone Bay, a while ago, betting that couldn't transfer like $1 million in Bitcoin for under a penny or something like that within 24 or 12 hours. And indeed, it happened. $1 million in Bitcoin was transferred for under a penny. So it was a $10,000 bet, and Tone Vase won. Greed factor kicks in. According to Max Kaiser. Yeah, Max Kaiser loves Bitcoin. Once almost guaranteed it's going to 500,000. I mean, it could, you know, it's don't forget, cryptocurrencies are not just an American thing. They're not, you know, they're worldwide. Anybody in the entire world, and was it 7 trillion, almost 8 trillion people in the world can buy cryptocurrencies? I mean, come on. Litecoin's going to melt some faces. Boy, Randall, bam, fist bump, baby. Let's do it. Let's see here. I don't know. I got some things here. Bitcoin. Well, guys, I like to read everyone's comments, but there's just getting to be too many of them here. And I wanted to keep this video short. Now here I am at 31 minutes. But guys, please like, subscribe. And I hate to waste your time by sitting here reading comments that, you know, I may not even get to. It's just not worth it. But I think I got my major point across. I'm not selling, not financial advice, but I don't recommend you guys sell either, unless you really want to roll the dice. Please like and subscribe, share the video if you get a chance. And if you have a wife, give her a kiss, a girlfriend, give her a kiss, kids, hug your kids, pet your pets, tell people that you love them. Don't be afraid to say that. I know it's not something I used when I was growing up. You know, I wasn't, the word love wasn't thrown around very much, but now that I get older, I try to tell my family that I love them as often as I can, because life is short and it's unexpected, and you never know what the future will hold. So guys, I think we're doing good. I'm really excited about Bitcoin, Litecoin. I'm starting to set some goals for where I think what I want to do with the money in the future. I hate to put the cart ahead of the horse. And as a gambler says, Kenny Rogers, you never count your money when you're sitting at the table. But I made a deal with the Lord above, God bless you all, that I would do good things with this money, with a good portion of it. And also made a deal with him when it hit $100 that I would start planning. And I have different price points. And that's just my belief, guys. Love you all. Have a great night. Happy Memorial Day. Joe Knows Cryptos, signing off.